Welcome back to the Shigeaki Podcast. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, a practicing physician in functional medicine for over 30 years, and co-host of the Shigeaki Podcast, where we explore how small daily choices can restore strength, sleep, and vitality after 60. Let me start with a simple question. Do you wake up once, twice, or even 3 times a night just to go to the bathroom? If so, you're not alone. Over 65% of older adults struggle with nocturia, nighttime urination, that interrupts sleep and drains energy the next day. And while most people assume it's just normal aging or too much water, I want to challenge that idea today. I recently worked with a 72-year-old man, active walking daily, eating what he thought was a healthy diet. He took his diuretic medication in the morning, avoided fluids after 7 p.m., and still he woke up at 2 a.m., like clockwork again, at 4. He wasn't drinking too much. The real problem, fruit. Not fruit in general, but the wrong fruits at the wrong time, grapes, oranges, pineapple. These seemed light and healthy, but were high in sugar acidity and enzymes that stimulated his bladder instead of calming it. And he's not alone. Many seniors turn to fruit in the evening as a guilt-free snack, not realizing it may be silently disrupting their sleep and overstimulating their bladder. To dive deeper into this often overlooked topic, I'm joined by a man I deeply respect, someone who has spent over a century guiding patients toward longevity, clarity, and balance. Please welcome my co-host, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you, Dr. Hyman. It's always a joy to be here. And what you just said is something we've observed in Japan for decades. In Japan, we always ask not just how much water you drink, but what you eat before bed. Certain fruits, even those considered healthy, can trigger the kidneys or irritate the bladder lining, especially in older adults. But when we adjust evening habits, switching to calming low-acid fruits, patients often start sleeping through the night again, not with new medications, but with new messages to the body.
That's why today's episode is so important. We're going to show you 4 fruits that reduce nighttime urination naturally, 4 fruits you should avoid after 60, and how food, not pills, can help you sleep deeply and wake up truly refreshed.
If your bladder is disrupting your nights, don't ignore it. Your sleep is sacred and protectable. So please subscribe, and share this episode with someone you care about, because sometimes the best place to start sleeping better is your fruit bowl.
Waking up to use the bathroom during the night may seem like a small inconvenience, but it's actually a much bigger issue than most people think. Nighttime urination doesn't just interrupt your sleep, it breaks your sleep cycle, and that has a ripple effect on nearly every system in your body. Deep sleep is when your body heals. It's when your brain clears toxins, your heart rate lowers, your hormones reset, and your immune system rebuilds. But each time you wake up, even if it's just to walk to the bathroom, your body exits that deep restorative state. You don't just lose minutes of sleep, you lose quality. And that quality is what determines how well your body functions the next day. The more frequently this happens, the more damage it causes. People who wake up multiple times a night are more likely to experience elevated blood pressure, increased insulin resistance, greater risk of heart disease, and even early signs of cognitive decline. And unfortunately, many of these issues are blamed on aging, when in fact, poor sleep is the hidden trigger.
That's exactly what we've seen in Japan as well. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it quietly takes years from your life. We often hear patients say, "I'm just getting old," when they feel more sluggish or forgetful. But when we look closely, many of those symptoms begin after years of fragmented sleep caused by nighttime urination. And here's something most people never think about. When your sleep is interrupted regularly, it disrupts the balance of hormones that control your bladder and kidneys. Normally, your body produces less urine at night, but with poor sleep, that rhythm is thrown off. The result is a vicious cycle. You wake up to pee, feel tired the next day, your nervous system becomes more reactive, and then you pee even more the next night.
So, while the bladder gets the blame, it's not always the root cause. Sometimes the problem lies upstream in the kidneys, the nervous system, or the foods that send confusing signals right before bed. That's why drinking less water at night is not always enough. Many patients already stop fluids after 7 p.m., and yet they still wake up twice or more. When that happens, the next question we must ask is not how much water did you drink. The real question is, what did you eat? And especially what kind of fruit.
Certain fruits, especially those high in sugar acidity or natural diuretics, can stimulate the kidneys or irritate the bladder, even if you're not drinking more liquid. So if you've been careful about your water intake but still find yourself waking up again and again, it may be time to look beyond hydration and begin to examine your evening food habits, starting with fruit.
Because what you eat in the evening doesn't just affect your digestion. It affects your bladder, your hormones, your sleep architecture, and your long-term health. In the next part, we'll reveal 4 fruits that can actually help you sleep through the night by calming the bladder, supporting the nervous system, and gently nourishing your metabolism while you rest.
Let's begin with one of the most familiar fruits, and also one of the most powerful when it comes to nighttime bladder support, the banana. Bananas are often misunderstood. Some people avoid them because they think they're too sugary, but for older adults struggling with nighttime urination, bananas can be incredibly helpful if used at the right time.
That's because bananas are naturally rich in potassium and magnesium, 2 minerals that help relax smooth muscle fibers, including the muscles in the walls of the bladder. When those muscles are tight or overactive, they can trigger sudden urges to urinate during the night. But when they're gently supported with the right nutrients, they become more stable, reducing unnecessary contractions.
In addition, bananas also support the nervous system. They help boost production of serotonin, which is the precursor to melatonin, your body's primary sleep hormone. So eating banana before bed doesn't just calm the bladder, it helps deepen your sleep cycle, which lowers nighttime sensitivity overall.
The key is in how and when you eat it. We recommend consuming half a ripe banana about 1 hour before bedtime. Avoid combining it with milk or yogurt, which can trigger digestion and stimulate the bladder in some people.
It's a simple habit, one that delivers gentle minerals, steady energy, and neurological calm. And for many older adults, it's enough to reduce bladder spasms and help them sleep through the night without interruption.
Next up is one of the most powerful berries you can eat for your bladder, your brain, and your sleep: blueberries. These tiny fruits are rich in anthocyanins, a group of plant compounds that give blueberries their deep blue color and their anti-inflammatory effects.
That's important because inflammation of the bladder wall is a common and often overlooked cause of nighttime urgency. When the lining of the bladder becomes irritated, it sends false signals to the brain telling you to urinate, even when the bladder is not full. Anthocyanins help calm that inflammation, supporting a more stable bladder during the night.
Blueberries also contain a high level of antioxidants, which protect the autonomic nerves responsible for controlling urination. As we age, these nerves can become less efficient, but by reducing oxidative stress, blueberries help preserve their function, allowing the body to better control when and how often the bladder contracts.
And there's another benefit. Blueberries are a good source of natural fiber, which helps slow the absorption of sugar and stabilizes blood glucose levels during the night. That's key because blood sugar spikes can stimulate the kidneys, increase urine production, and trigger nighttime trips to the bathroom.
To get the most benefit, try eating a small handful of fresh or frozen blueberries about 1 to 2 hours before bed, either on their own or mixed into a light evening snack like chia pudding or unsweetened almond yogurt.
They're gentle on the bladder, kind to your brain, and a smart choice for anyone looking to sleep through the night without interruption.
Our third fruit is soft, soothing, and surprisingly effective in supporting bladder health. That's papaya, especially when it's fully ripe. Ripe papaya contains a powerful natural enzyme called papain, which helps break down proteins and support digestive function. For older adults, improved digestion in the evening can reduce bloating and abdominal pressure that otherwise put strain on the bladder.
That's something many people overlook. When digestion slows down, as it often does with age, it creates upward pressure on the diaphragm and downward pressure on the bladder. Papaya, with its rich content of enzymes and natural vitamin C, helps relieve that burden gently.
There's also evidence that papaya's anti-inflammatory compounds may help reduce pelvic inflammation, a hidden factor that can increase nighttime urgency, especially in postmenopausal women or men with mild prostate swelling. And unlike citrus fruits, papaya is low in acidity, making it far less likely to irritate the bladder lining. It's gentle alkalizing and soothing to the gut, all of which contribute to calmer nighttime physiology.
The best time to eat papaya is in the late afternoon or early evening, about 2 to 3 hours before bed. Aim for a small portion of ripe, soft papaya, not unripe or green, as that can have the opposite effect. It's a naturally sweet way to support digestion, reduce pelvic tension, and make nighttime sleep more peaceful without relying on pills or herbal diuretics.
Let's finish our list of helpful fruits with one that many people forget is technically a fruit: avocado. Unlike most fruits, avocado is low in sugar, but high in healthy fats and essential minerals, making it one of the most supportive foods for nervous system balance and bladder control.
That's right. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, which are known to stabilize the nervous system. This is particularly helpful for calming involuntary bladder contractions, which are often triggered by nerve sensitivity stress or age-related neurological changes.
Avocado is also an excellent source of potassium. In fact, it contains more potassium per serving than bananas. Potassium plays a key role in fluid regulation and electrolyte balance, helping the body maintain proper hydration without overstimulating the kidneys. And unlike many other fruits, avocado contains no natural sugars. This means it won't trigger a spike in blood glucose, and it won't signal the kidneys to increase urine production during the night, a common problem with sweet fruits eaten too late in the evening. This combination contains high healthy fat, high potassium, and zero sugar, makes avocado ideal for older adults who want to support both bladder control and restful sleep.
You can enjoy avocado in many ways. A few slices in a salad at dinner, mashed on a rice cracker, or blended into a smoothie with unsweetened almond milk. The key is to eat it at dinner or early evening, not too close to bedtime. Avocado is gentle, nourishing, and quietly powerful, one of the few fruits that support hydration without overstimulation and help you sleep through the night with fewer interruptions.
Now that we've covered the fruits that can support better sleep and bladder control, let's talk about a few that might look healthy on the surface but could be quietly making nighttime urination worse, especially after 60. And topping that list is watermelon.
Watermelon is one of the most refreshing fruits, especially in summer. It's low in calories, high in water, and often seen as a clean, hydrating option. But for older adults struggling with sleep interruptions, it can be a hidden trigger. That's because watermelon is made up of nearly 92% water, meaning even a few slices can flood the kidneys with fluid in a short amount of time. When this happens in the late afternoon or evening, the bladder may become overstimulated, right as your body is trying to wind down.
That sudden increase in fluid volume is especially challenging for older adults. As we age, bladder elasticity decreases, and kidney filtration can become more sensitive. Watermelon doesn't hydrate gradually, it floods the system, and that effect becomes most noticeable during the night. It's not just the water. Watermelon is also high in fructose, a form of natural sugar that may act as a mild diuretic in certain individuals. Fructose can also spike blood sugar, triggering hormonal responses that increase urine output.
The combined effect of high water and rapid sugar metabolism makes watermelon one of the fruits most likely to cause nighttime urgency, especially when eaten after dinner. That's why we strongly recommend avoiding watermelon after 6 p.m. or even earlier if you've noticed a pattern of waking up to urinate. It's a fruit best enjoyed during the daytime when your kidneys and bladder are more active and your sleep is not at risk.
The second fruit on our avoid after 60 list is one that often seems healthy, even healing, because of its digestive benefits. But when it comes to nighttime urination, pineapple can do more harm than good. Pineapple contains a natural enzyme called bromelain, which is known to support protein digestion. However, bromelain also has a stimulating effect on the kidneys, which may lead to increased urine production, especially in older adults with more sensitive systems.
That's not the only issue. Pineapple is also one of the more acidic fruits rich in citric acid and malic acid. While that acidity can be tolerable for the digestive tract, it's often irritating to the bladder lining, especially in individuals prone to urinary sensitivity or inflammation. We've seen cases where people eat pineapple in the evening and then experience symptoms like bladder discomfort, burning sensations, or even a feeling of urgency, not because their bladder is full, but because it's reacting to chemical irritation.
Another common complaint is a sensation of heat or tightness in the lower abdomen after eating pineapple at night. That stimulation interferes with your ability to relax fully and enter deep, uninterrupted sleep.
Pineapple might be safe earlier in the day for some people, but if you're waking up at night to urinate, it's worth eliminating this fruit after 6 p.m. to see if your symptoms improve. Its combination of enzyme stimulation, high acidity, and subtle diuretic effect makes pineapple a risky evening choice, especially for those over 60 who value their sleep.
Next on our list of fruits to avoid after 60 is one that's small, sweet, and deceptively innocent: grapes. While they're often recommended for heart health and antioxidants, they can pose real problems for bladder control at night. The main issue with grapes lies in their very high glucose content. Unlike fruits that contain more fiber or complex sugars, grapes deliver a quick hit of glucose to the bloodstream. That rapid rise in blood sugar can stimulate the kidneys to increase urine output as the body tries to regulate and flush out excess glucose.
This mechanism is especially disruptive at night. If grapes are eaten in the evening, or worse, close to bedtime, they may cause an unexpected sugar spike, followed by increased filtration in the kidneys, which leads to more urine production during your sleep cycle. But it doesn't stop there. Grapes may also trigger involuntary bladder contractions, especially in people who already deal with nocturia. The combination of high sugar and fluid content can be enough to overstimulate the bladder even when it isn't full.
And we can't forget about raisins-dried grapes, which are an even more concentrated source of natural sugar. Because the water is removed, the sugar becomes more dense and fast-acting, making raisins one of the worst choices for anyone prone to nighttime urination.
For those over 60, we recommend avoiding grapes and raisins after 5 or 6 p.m., especially if you're already waking up during the night. These fruits may be small, but their metabolic impact is far from harmless, particularly when it comes to sleep.
Our final fruit in this list is one that almost everyone considers healthy, and for many reasons it is. But when it comes to nighttime urination, oranges can cause more disruption than support. Oranges are rich in vitamin C, which the body needs, but they also contain high amounts of citric acid, and that's where the problem begins. Citric acid acts as a bladder irritant in many older adults. It can stimulate the nerves surrounding the bladder, making it more reactive, even when there's not much urine inside.
That stimulation may not cause pain, but it can cause a persistent urge to urinate, especially in people who already experience nocturia. And the effect is subtle. Many people don't realize it's the fruit that's keeping them up.
There's also the issue of acidic vitamin C. When taken in the form found in citrus fruits, vitamin C increases urine output, a well-known but often overlooked side effect. This happens because the kidneys excrete excess vitamin C, and that process pulls water along with it. So, even if you stop drinking fluids early, eating an orange in the late afternoon or evening can still increase urine production at night, quietly pushing your body out of deep sleep.
That's why we recommend enjoying oranges in the morning or early afternoon and avoiding them after 4 p.m. It allows your body to get the nutritional benefits without paying the price at night. Oranges are healthy, just not before bed, and in managing nighttime urination, timing is just as important as content.
By now, we've made it clear that waking up at night to urinate isn't just about how much you drink. It's about how well your nervous system and bladder communicate. The real key to better bladder control at night is not restriction, it's support. Instead of simply cutting back on fluids, we need to nourish the nerves that regulate the bladder's activity. That means giving your body the nutrients it needs to stay calm, balanced, and responsive even while you sleep.
That includes 3 important nutrients: potassium, magnesium, and B vitamins. Potassium helps balance fluid distribution. Magnesium relaxes smooth muscles. And B vitamins, especially B6 and B12, support nerve signal transmission between the bladder and the brain. If these nutrients are lacking, the bladder may contract too soon or fail to hold urine long enough through the night.
But nutrients alone aren't enough. Evening habits also matter. A heavy late dinner puts pressure on your digestive organs, which can push against the bladder. Worse if that dinner includes fruits high in water sugar, or acid like watermelon or pineapple. You're adding extra stimulation right before sleep.
The goal isn't to skip dinner, it's to make the meal light, calm, and structured. Avoid overly juicy fruits or acid-forming foods. Instead, eat something simple with protein-healthy fats and gentle fiber. And don't overlook pre-sleep routines. Breathing exercises, light stretching, or even a warm foot soak before bed can activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode that helps reduce bladder sensitivity. Practical tips for protecting your bladder and improving sleep. Eat a light dinner before 7:30 p.m., focused on calming foods. If you eat fruit in the evening, use nighttime-friendly options like banana or papaya and finish them at least 1 to 1.5 hours before bed. Avoid drinking water during the last hour before sleep, but make sure your hydration earlier in the day is adequate. Practice 5 to 10 minutes of deep belly breathing or mindfulness to signal your body that it's time to settle down.
When we stop fighting the bladder and start supporting it, everything shifts better, sleep, more energy, and a body that finally feels at peace. The bladder is not the enemy, it's a messenger. And with the right evening approach, it becomes silent, letting you rest, heal, and wake up truly refreshed.
Finally, you don't need to lose sleep over your bladder, but you do need to listen to it. What feels like a minor inconvenience, waking up once or twice each night, could actually be your body trying to tell you something important. It's not just about aging, it's about the signals you're sending your body before bed, and one of the most overlooked signals comes from fruit.
If you change your fruit, you may change your night, and that could change your life. We've seen it again and again. Just a small shift in the type or timing of fruit in the evening can lead to longer sleep, fewer bathroom visits, and brighter mornings. Because deep sleep isn't a luxury. It's where healing happens, where memory locks in, and where your body resets.
3-day reset for nighttime relief. Day 1. Stop eating watermelon and grapes after noon. Instead, eat half a ripe banana 1 hour before bed to relax bladder muscles. Day 2. Add a serving of blueberries or avocado to your late afternoon meal. Avoid oranges or citrus after 4 p.m. to reduce bladder stimulation. Day 3. Try papaya 1 hour before bed, take a warm bath or foot soak, and stop drinking fluids after 8 p.m. to let your body settle. These are small steps, but they create space for deeper rest, sharper energy, and better control without needing more pills.
Because the path to healing doesn't always begin with medicine. Sometimes it begins with what's on your plate and when you eat it. Call to action. If you or someone you love is waking up too often at night, please like, subscribe, and share this episode. Sleep is not just rest, it's cellular renewal. Don't let the wrong fruit steal your night.